the high desert of northwestern New Mexico, where cliffs of sandstone catch the low sun in long copper tones and the wind moves without interruption across vast expanses of scrub and rock, once held one of the most remarkable cultural centers in pre-Columbian North America. In Chaco Canyon, from the 9th to the 13th centuries, the Ancestral Puebloans constructed a complex network of great houses, ceremonial structures and engineered roads, carving a civilization of stone and intention into a landscape that offered little comfort. Between the years 850 and 1130 AD, the canyon flourished. Great houses like Pueblo Bonito, Chetroquetl, and Hungopavi rose in tiers of carefully shaped sandstone blocks. Some extended 4 or 5 stories into the air, with hundreds of rooms, T-shaped doorways, and core and veneer masonry that required careful planning and centralized coordination. Kivas, circular ceremonial chambers recessed into the earth, were built with precise alignment to solar and lunar cycles. Roads, straight and wide, extended from Chaco into the surrounding desert in lines that defied geography, linking outlying settlements across hundreds of miles. The Chacoans moved massive timbers for roofing, hauled them from forests more than 50 miles away, and did so without the wheel, without beasts of burden, and without metal tools. Evidence suggests that Chaco was not simply a habitation site. It functioned as a ceremonial and economic center, drawing people from across the region during key times of the year, perhaps for solstices, feasts, or trade. Turquoise, macaw feathers, cacao residue, and seashells have all been found among the debris, objects that originated far south in Mesoamerica or west along the Pacific coast. Yet for all its scale and sophistication, the society left no writing and few clues about how power was structured or how decisions were made. What remains is infrastructure, shaped by hands whose names are lost. By the early 1100s, signs of stress began to emerge. Construction at the major great houses slowed. The outlying roads saw less maintenance. Tree ring data from timber used in buildings and from nearby pinyon pines records a series of severe droughts beginning in the late 11th century and intensifying into the 1200s. Water, never abundant in the canyon, became less reliable. Agriculture, based on dry farming and the careful collection of runoff, could no longer sustain the same population levels. Food shortages may have triggered conflict, both within the canyon and with neighboring groups who may have competed for dwindling resources. There is evidence, scattered and sparse, of violence. Some sites show signs of rapid abandonment. Others contain bones that suggest conflict or ritualized executions. Defensive structures appear in areas where none had stood before. Yet nowhere is there evidence of a single battle, a single sacking, or a conquest that brought the Chacoan system to an end. Instead, what occurred was a process of gradual departure. One by one, great houses were vacated, storage rooms were left full, roofs collapsed in on themselves, roads fell into disuse. By the close of the 13th century, Chaco Canyon was largely empty. The reasons remain uncertain. Climatic collapse, social fragmentation, religious upheaval, or a combination of all three may have played a role. Some archaeologists argue that the entire Chacoan system was never sustainable, that its population relied on highly centralized control of resources and labor, and that once environmental conditions shifted, the social mechanisms that supported that centralization broke apart. Others propose that internal tensions over hierarchy, ritual authority, or inequality may have led to disillusionment, rejection, and dispersal. The people did not disappear. Their descendants survived and adapted. Migrating into the surrounding mesas and river valleys, they reorganized into smaller, more resilient communities. Over time, they became the ancestors of the modern Hopi, Zuni, Acoma, and other Pueblo peoples. Oral traditions preserved among these groups speak of migrations, of searching for harmony, of the abandonment of centers that had become unbalanced or spiritually corrupted. Though these stories do not always name Chaco directly, they echo with themes that archaeologists find inscribed in the ruins. Today, the canyon stands in careful stillness. Walls that once supported thriving ceremonial life rise from the sand in well-fitted silence. The roads stretch across terrain that no longer feels the weight of pilgrimage. The great kivas lie open to the sky. The people left without engraving their reasons in stone. Whatever crisis or decision drove them out did not come with monument or monumentality. It came with footsteps taken east and south, away from a place that had once been the center of a world.